If you've been following along, you already know what this work is not. It's not motivation. It's not therapy. It's not a productivity hack. And it's not a personality makeover. In this video, I want to do something simple and honest. I want to show you what actually happens inside the focus journey. No hype, no promises of transformation in 30 days, no selling tone, just clarity. Because most men don't hesitate because they don't want change. They hesitate because they don't know what they're stepping into. Now, before I walk through the process, there's something important to understand. Men under pressure don't need more intensity. I believe they need containment. They need clear boundaries. They need predictable rhythm. They need enough structure to feel safe, enough flexibility to breathe. That's why this work happens over 4 phases. Not because 4 phases fixes you, but because clarity is restored through repeated interruption, not inside alone. The goal isn't to empty your life. It's to help you reduce internal noise, restore decision clarity, reestablish direction, carry responsibility without drowning in it. By the end, most men don't say, "I feel amazing." They simply say, "I can see again." And that's enough to change everything. The first phase is about interrupting overload, not solving your life. Most men arrive mentally crowded, internally tense, used to vigilance. So we don't analyze yet. We slow the system down. This is where a lot of different things come to focus and attention. Not as performative, not as anything that you have to do to earn respect, but as a way to give your nervous system something external and steady to organize around it. Because clarity can't emerge in constant noise. Phase 1 is about creating just enough quiet for order to begin returning. Not dramatic, just space. Once the noise drops, something interesting happens. Your priorities become visible again. In phase 2, we focus on orientation. Not what should I do with my life, but what actually deserves my attention right now. This is where many men realize they've been carrying decisions that aren't theirs, pressures that were never named, expectations they absorbed without choosing. We don't rush this part. We just organize it. Clarity isn't about doing less. It's about seeing what belongs to you and what doesn't. And once that distinction is clear, direction becomes possible again. Phase 3 is where direction begins to return. Not in the form of a grand vision, but in clean, usable decisions. This is where men start saying things like, "I've been circling this for years. I knew this, but I just couldn't access it." This makes sense. I work with decision fatigue, hesitation, avoidance patterns, over-responsibility, not by forcing action, but by restoring confidence in your ability to choose wisely under load. This is where discipline stops feeling punishing again. The 4th phase is about integration, not intensity, because clarity that isn't protected doesn't last. In phase 4, we focus on how you noticed overload early, how you interrupt it before it compounds, how you return to clarity without starting over. This is not a rigid routine. It's a repeatable rhythm, something you can return to when life inevitably gets heavy again, because pressure isn't the problem. Unmanaged pressure is. Let me be very clear about this. This is not therapy, coaching that yells at you and belittles you, group vulnerability sessions. And it's not passive either. This work requires presence, honesty, willingness to slow down. But it doesn't require you to share everything unless you want to. Perform insight. Most men describe it as finally working with my system instead of fighting it. Here's something interesting that I found. Relief often shows up before solutions, not because problems disappear, but because internal interference decreases. When the system settles, decisions feel lighter, relationships feel less draining, thinking feels cleaner. That's not magic. That's order returning. There's a quiet wisdom underneath this process. Life was never meant to be carried all at once. Burden was meant to be shared. Attention was meant to be focused. Provision was meant to be daily. Restoration comes before redirection. Order comes before endurance. Clarity comes before faithful action. That pattern shows up again and again, and this work simply honors it. This is for men who are capable but overloaded, are functioning but unclear, are disciplined but exhausted. You want solid, coherent direction. It's not for men looking for a quick fix, someone to tell them what to do. Empty motivation. This is for men who are ready to see clearly again. Most men don't book a call because they're desperate. They book because things finally make sense. The process feels safe. They want to know if it fits them. A call isn't a commitment. It's a simple conversation, a chance to see if this work matches where you actually are. No pressure, no obligation, just clarity. If you made it this far, you already know something important. You don't need more intensity. You don't need less interference. The focused journey isn't about changing who you are. It's about restoring what overload has been blocking. If you want to explore whether this is right for you, the next step is simple. Book a call, and we'll take it one step at a time. See you on the next one.